What if I told you that there's a way to wake up every morning without worrying about bills, debt, or financial stress? Imagine checking your bank account and seeing money flowing in without lifting a finger. No boss, no deadlines, no early alarms, just financial freedom, where your investments work for you while you enjoy life on your terms. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, for thousands of people, it's already a reality. And guess what? You don't need to be a millionaire to make it happen. The secret lies in something simple yet incredibly powerful: dividends. Dividends are one of the most underrated paths to wealth. And the best part? You don't have to be a stock market expert to benefit from them. If you've ever felt stuck in the cycle of working hard, saving money, and still struggling to get ahead, this is the game changer you've been waiting for. So, how do dividends work? And how can you turn them into a steady income that could one day replace your paycheck? Stick around, because by the end of this, you'll have the roadmap to earning $4,400 per month, just like Warren Buffett has done for decades. What are dividends, and why are they so powerful? Let's break it down in the simplest way possible. When you invest in a company's stock, you're not just buying a piece of paper, you're becoming a part owner of that business. And just like any business, when it makes a profit, it has a choice. It can reinvest the earnings to grow, or it can share some of those profits with its owners, you, the shareholders. That's what dividends are: a thank you payment for believing in a company. Now, here's the magic. Unlike a job, where you only make money when you work, dividends come in regularly, whether you're working, traveling, or even sleeping. As Warren Buffett famously said, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. Dividends allow you to earn money passively, meaning your investments do the hard work for you. Think about it this way. Let's say you own shares in a company that pays a dividend every 3 months. Every quarter, like clockwork, money lands in your account without you doing anything extra. And the best part? Many companies increase their dividends over time. That means your income grows year after year, giving you more financial security and freedom. How Warren Buffett built his wealth with dividends. When people hear Warren Buffett's name, they think of one of the richest investors in history. But here's what most don't realize. A huge chunk of Buffett's wealth comes from dividends. He doesn't just invest in any stocks. He picks companies that pay him a steady, growing stream of dividend income. Take Coca-Cola, for example. Buffett's company, Berkshire Hathaway, owns millions of Coca-Cola shares. Every year, Coca-Cola sends him hundreds of millions of dollars in dividends. That's money he can use however he wants, without selling a single share. And because he reinvests those dividends back into more stocks, his wealth grows exponentially. That's the power of dividends. Instead of working for money, he lets his money work for him. And the best part? You can do the same thing. Why dividends are the key to financial freedom. Let's be real. The world is getting more expensive. Gas, groceries, rent, everything keeps going up. But most people's incomes stay the same. Relying on a single paycheck is risky. If you lose your job, your income stops. But with dividends, you create an additional stream of income that keeps coming in no matter what. Imagine receiving dividend payments that cover your rent, your groceries, or even your vacations. Over time, as your investments grow, your dividends could replace your entire paycheck. That's what financial freedom looks like. Having the choice to work because you want to, not because you have to. And you don't need millions to start. Even small investments today can turn into significant income in the future. The key is to start now, be consistent, and let time do the heavy lifting. Your first step toward a $4,400 monthly dividend income. Now, I know what you're thinking. Okay, this sounds amazing, but where do I start? Don't worry, that's exactly what we'll cover next. In the upcoming section, we'll break down how to build a strong dividend portfolio step by step, following the same principles that Warren Buffett uses. By the end of this, you'll know exactly what stocks to pick, how to reinvest your dividends, and the fastest way to grow your income until you reach that magic number, $4,400 per month. So, are you ready to take control of your financial future? Keep watching, because the best part is just ahead. So, now that you know how powerful dividends can be, you're probably wondering, okay, but how do I actually build a portfolio that pays me every month? That's exactly what we're going to dive into right now. Imagine this. You've just woken up. You grab your phone, check your bank account, and there it is. Another dividend payment, just like clockwork. You didn't work extra hours for it. You didn't stress about it. And yet, your money kept growing while you slept. That's the goal. But like any great plan, you need a strategy. Warren Buffett didn't just randomly buy stocks and hope for the best. He followed a method, a blueprint that helped him build a financial empire. And today, we're going to follow that same roadmap. So, let's break down the key steps to building a dividend portfolio that will set you up for long-term success. Step 1. Choosing the right dividend stocks. Not all stocks are created equal. Some companies pay dividends, but they aren't reliable. Others have been paying and increasing their dividends for decades, making them prime candidates for long-term wealth building. So, how do you know which ones to pick? Here's what you should look for. First, a strong history of paying dividends. If a company has been consistently paying dividends for 10, 20, or even 50 years, that's a great sign. It means they value their shareholders and have a track record of financial stability. Companies like Coca-Cola, Johnson & Johnson, and Procter & Gamble have been doing this for decades. Second, dividend growth. It's not just about getting paid. It's about getting paid more over time. You want companies that increase their dividends every year. Why? Because as inflation rises, your income needs to rise too. A company that raises its dividend by 5 to 10% per year ensures your purchasing power keeps up. Third, a strong financial position. If a company is drowning in debt, it's a ticking time bomb. You want companies with solid cash flow, stable earnings, and low debt. Warren Buffett always looks at a company's balance sheet before investing. If a company is profitable and manages its money well, it's more likely to keep paying dividends, even during recessions. Step 2. The power of diversification. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Ever heard of the phrase, "Don't put all your eggs in one basket"? That's especially true for investing. Imagine putting all your money into one company, and then something happens. The business struggles, cuts dividends, or even worse, collapses. That's a nightmare scenario. Buffett warns against over-diversifying, But he also knows that spreading investments across a few strong companies reduces risk. The key is balance. A well-diversified dividend portfolio should include stocks from different industries. Here's why. Consumer staples like food, drinks, and household items are great because people always need them. Companies like Coca-Cola and Unilever keep making money no matter what the economy is doing. Utilities like water, electricity, and gas are steady and predictable. People will always pay for power, so companies like Duke Energy and NextEra Energy provide consistent dividends. Healthcare companies like Johnson & Johnson or Pfizer keep paying dividends because people always need medicine and medical care. By spreading your investments across different sectors, you create a safety net. If one industry struggles, the others can keep your dividend income flowing. Step 3. The long-term mindset. Patience pays off. Warren Buffett is famous for saying, "Our favorite holding period is forever." And there's a good reason for that. When you invest in strong companies, you don't need to constantly buy and sell. You let your money grow over time. Think about a snowball rolling down a hill. At first, it's small, but as it rolls, it picks up more snow, getting bigger and bigger. That's exactly how dividends work. The longer you hold great stocks, the more dividends you earn. And if you reinvest those dividends, your portfolio grows even faster. Many investors make the mistake of chasing quick gains. They panic when the market drops and sell too soon. But the truth is, successful dividend investing is a long game. It's about consistency, patience, and letting time do the heavy lifting. Step 4. Managing risk, protecting your money. Buffett has another famous rule. Rule number 1. Never lose money. Rule number 2. Never forget rule number 1. Now, let's be real. Every investment carries some risk, but there are ways to protect yourself. Avoid companies with high debt. If a company is struggling to pay its bills, it may cut its dividend when times get tough. Stick with financially strong companies. Watch out for companies that cut dividends. If a company has a history of slashing dividends when things get tough, that's a red flag. You want companies that increase dividends, not decrease them. Keep an eye on your portfolio. Investing isn't a set-it-and-forget-it game. Check in on your stocks regularly. If a company's financial situation changes, you may need to adjust your investments. Step 5. Regularly reviewing and adjusting your portfolio. Life changes, and so should your investment strategy. Maybe a company you invested in stops performing well, or a new opportunity arises. The best investors don't just sit back, they stay informed. Set a schedule to review your portfolio every few months. Check if your companies are still performing well, paying dividends, and growing. If not, it may be time to make adjustments. The road ahead. Setting yourself up for a $4,400 monthly dividend income. At this point, you might be thinking, okay, I get it. I need to invest in strong dividend stocks, diversify, think long-term, and manage risk. But how do I actually get to $4,400 per month? Great question. That's exactly what we'll cover in the next section. We'll break down the exact strategies you can use to generate a reliable $4,400 monthly income through dividends, how much you need to invest, what types of stocks work best, and even some alternative strategies to accelerate your results. By the end of this journey, you won't just know how dividend investing works, you'll have a clear roadmap to building your own passive income stream. So, are you ready to take your financial future into your own hands? Stay with me, because what comes next is where the real magic happens. Now that you know how to build a strong dividend portfolio, let's talk about the exciting part: actually living off your dividends. You've seen how Warren Buffett uses dividends to create passive income. But how do you turn this strategy into $4,400 per month for yourself? Imagine checking your bank account at the start of every month and seeing thousands of dollars in dividends rolling in. No boss, no 9-to-5 grind, just money working for you. That's the dream, right? Well, it's more achievable than you might think. The key is knowing where to invest, how much you need, and the smartest way to get there faster. So, let's dive into the step-by-step strategies that can put you on the fast track to financial freedom. How much do you need to invest? Let's do the math. The first thing people ask is, how much do I need to invest to make $4,400 per month? The answer depends on the type of dividend stocks you choose, because different investments offer different dividend yields. Let's break it down with two approaches. The traditional dividend stock approach, 3% yield. Many blue-chip dividend stocks pay an average yield of around 3% per year. To generate $4,400 per month, or $52,800 per year, you'd need $1.76 million invested in dividend stocks paying a 3% yield. The high-yield strategy, 12% covered call ETFs. Some special funds, like covered call ETFs, can offer 12% annual yields. With this approach, to generate $52,800 per year, you'd need only $440,000 invested in high-yield ETFs. Now, looking at these numbers, you might think, wow, $1.76 million is a lot. How can I get there faster? That's where strategy comes in. You don't have to wait decades to build that kind of wealth. If you invest smartly, you can reach your goal much sooner. Strategy number 1. Investing in blue-chip dividend stocks. Blue-chip dividend stocks are the foundation of Warren Buffett's investing success. These are large, well-established companies that have been paying dividends for decades. They may not have the highest yields, but they offer long-term stability, consistent dividend growth, and capital appreciation, which means your investment grows in value over time. If you take this approach, reinvesting dividends is your best friend. Instead of taking out your dividends right away, you reinvest them into more shares, which means your dividends compound year after year. For example, let's say you start with $50,000 in dividend stocks paying 3%. Instead of withdrawing your dividends, you reinvest them, and over time your portfolio grows faster than you'd expect. Thanks to compounding, even small investments today can snowball into a massive portfolio. The downside: it takes time. If you want to speed things up, you might want to explore a mix of blue-chip stocks and higher-yield investments. Strategy number 2. Investing in dividend growth stocks. While blue-chip stocks offer stability, dividend growth stocks provide a different kind of advantage. They increase their dividends over time. Imagine investing in a stock that pays you $1 per share today. 5 years later, that same stock is paying you $2 per share, and 10 years later, it's $4 per share. That's the power of dividend growth. Some of the best dividend growth companies have increased their payouts for decades, including Coca-Cola, KO, 61 years of dividend increases. Johnson & Johnson, J&J, 61 years of increases. Procter & Gamble, PG, 67 years of increases. These companies reward patient investors. Instead of chasing high yields today, you're setting yourself up for huge income growth in the future. This approach works best if you start early and stay consistent. Over time, the increasing dividends will multiply your income without you having to invest more money. Strategy number 3. Using covered call ETFs for higher yields. Now, if you want to reach $4,400 per month faster, you might want to consider covered call ETFs. Here's how they work. These funds invest in dividend-paying stocks but also sell call options on those stocks. The income from selling those options is added to the dividend payments, which means higher yields, often 8% to 12% annually. This allows you to generate more income with a smaller initial investment. For example, if you invest $440,000 in covered call ETFs, paying 12%, you could immediately start earning $4,400 per month without waiting decades for growth. Some of the most popular covered call ETFs include Global XS&P 500, Covered Call ETF, XYLD, Global X NASDAQ 100, Covered Call ETF, QYLD, JP Morgan, Equity, Premium Income, ETFJEPI. The trade-off? Covered call ETFs limit your stock price growth. So, while you get higher income today, you might miss out on bigger stock appreciation in the future. That's why many investors combine this strategy with traditional dividend stocks, getting both high income now and growth over time. Putting it all together, your personalized plan to $4,400 per month. Now that you've seen different strategies, the big question is, which one is right for you? Here's a simple way to decide. If you want steady, long-term growth, focus on blue-chip dividend stocks and dividend growth stocks. If you want income now, add covered call ETFs to your portfolio. If you want a balance of growth and income, use a mix of all three strategies. Regardless of the approach you choose, the most important step is getting started. Too many people wait for the perfect time, but the truth is, the perfect time to invest was yesterday. The second best time is today, even if you start small, 100, 500, or 1,000 per month. You're setting yourself up for a future where money works for you. What's next? The final steps to achieving your dividend dream. So now, you know how to build a dividend portfolio and the strategies to reach $4,400 per month. But how do you put everything into action and avoid common mistakes? In the next section, we'll break down a step-by-step action plan so you can start earning passive income ASAP. We'll cover the exact steps to buy your first dividend stocks, how to set up automatic dividend reinvesting, the biggest pitfalls to avoid so you don't lose money. By the time we're done, you'll have a crystal clear roadmap to financial freedom through dividends. So, are you ready to take control of your financial future? Stick around, because the best part is just ahead.